Alright, so this morning I was on Skype with Freddie, and he told me to go check out this video that he'd referenced in something that he posted the other day. And this video features a guy coming into a karate dojo, and the guy's not all there. He's a peaceful guy who is a fan of martial arts. You might call him a martial artist himself. He's later in the video you see that he's done some training, whether or not he's groomed himself or what have you, or actually been at some school. But anyway, he comes into this dojo, and he's claiming he wants to show them some things. He wants to teach them some things. He's claiming to have, whatever level red something belt or sash or whatever, and claiming that it came from Jesus. So, you can tell, okay, the guy is, he's a peaceful guy, but he's got some issues. Anyway, what we find out soon enough is that really it's these karate guys who have way more issues than this poor guy. So he comes in, he wants to teach him something, and he actually says, well, I want to, rather than fight or anything like that, or spar, I'd rather just demonstrate in forms. I'd rather just show you a form, or what you would call a kata. And shortly after that, the kind of the second ranking, or the highest student, second to the sensei, decides to go ahead and launch an attack at this guy. And this he's wearing a black belt. He's wearing a gi. The ranking student, and he basically goes on a violent rampage against this poor visitor who wasn't attempting to really challenge anybody. He goes on a violent rampage and he won't stop. And several times this guy tried to end it. Just don't do that at first. They fought some more, and they said, okay, you're good. You're really good. I'm not a fighter. You're good. The guy continued to attack. Next thing he's like, okay, you've won. The guy continues to attack, gets him on the ground, knees him in the head, starts stomping on his head, and as far as we know, kills him. The number of times he was stomped on his head, you could see his head become misshapen. It was a really sick video. Freddie thinks everybody should see this video, and I really think people should see it as well. There was a school full of Karateka, and nobody put a stop to this until it was at the end, until the guy was obviously dying. When he was there dying, what did they do? Did they try to, get him a medical attention? No. The guy who owns the school, a sensei, says, drag him out the back door. So they drag him by one leg out the back door and just toss him away. And afterwards on the video, he's bragging, look at this is the trail of the Kung Fu master as he leaves my dojo. And it's really sick. I also saw somebody went onto the FMK page and posted another link to a news segment where the police and FBI were actually, after having seen this video on YouTube, were now looking for the guys that were involved in this, and if it turns out to be real, there's going to be criminal charges. There should be. These guys totally murdered somebody and put it on film. But what's very telling is that there was this whole group of people, and they didn't do anything. And here's this guy who's supposed to represent martial arts, and he's just a violent killer. And this is the problem. This is the problem that that Freddie keeps indexing, and I totally agree with him on this point, that not everybody should be learning martial arts. That we've got these violent sociopaths and stuff out there who are allowed to learn martial arts. And not only that, but it's like it's become such an industry now that you don't even have to go to an actual school to be learning martial arts. You can do it online. You can do it watching UFC breakdowns and stuff. You can learn some deadly stuff. But in any case, like, when the police go, they're talking about going after everybody that was there on the scene, everybody, criminal charges. And I agree. And this was the film was from like back in the 1980s, but it still applies, I think, to the contemporary violence that we're supporting with the UFC, with going after people that are already knocked out on the ground and hurting them more. I think, I don't know, the video speaks for itself. It's the level of violence that people that have that level of violence should not be involved in martial arts at all. And in this case, they're actually the ones running the martial arts school. And I don't think it's far-fetched that to say that it doesn't. I've never been in a school like that where people are that violent, but I know that they exist. I've seen in documentaries about teachers who will like violently punish their students who haven't been trained hard enough or what have you. They're and a lot of it is associated with the kind of schools that favor combat sports. So yeah, my impressions of the video was that it's an example of complete abuse of martial arts by violent sociopaths, and the more that we expose martial arts techniques to wider society, the more tools that these kind of violent sociopaths have to utilize against the weaker. And so, while this was not a video of MMA practitioners killing a guy, this is the level of violence that we're talking about in criticizing the industry that brings martial arts into the public eye with violent expressions, bloody, violent expressions, when people are already knocked down and out. So I agree with Freddie with his assessment of the video, and I think people should watch it, because you need to recognize what's out there. I mean, people keep telling Freddie, you need to step into a UFC or MMA gym and, see what happens. Are they talking about something like this? Maybe not all of them are, but maybe some of them are. Maybe some of them are like, step into an MMA gym with your opinions, and we'll stomp your head until you're dead. I filter all the stuff on the MMA or on the FMK YouTube channel. I see a lot of violent comments. There's a lot of these guys out there. And so, I agree that people should be exposed to the kind of level of corruption of the martial arts that can occur as evidenced in this video.